right here. Anyway, oh man, what a mess! What a mess! What a mess! Neighbors were doing some work, and I think that I know that my internet connection was cut. Sabotage, sabotage, sabotage. The only thing is, was it a Georgia conspirator or was it an Auburn conspirator? Surrounded by enemies all around me. Anyway, I'm gonna get these picks out. I'm working from a big board today, so excuse me if I have my head down, head and eyes down. I gotta go to it. Gotta do this all day. Um, but I'm here mainly to talk about the great game against the always competitive, always dominating Vanderbilt Commodores as my Crimson Tide battles them tonight, for SEC supremacy. No, no, but this ain't your granddaddy's Vanderbilt Commodores. I did have a big quote by Diego Pavia, their quarterback, and he was asked specifically about, I think he said in the last two games, the reporter said in the last two games that Vandy has played Alabama. We used to play a lot more often, I think, in the 80s and 90s, but not so frequent over the last decade or so. But in the last two meetings, I didn't hear whether the reporter said we won by 50 points or the Tide won the last two by 50 points. But either way, Diego Pavia said something like, we're a whole new team now. Like NIL done changed everything. Only God knows who's going to win this game. So if you come in there expecting to see your great granddaddy's Vanderbilt team, you're gonna be sadly mistaken. That's just the bottom line. You're gonna be sadly mistaken because Pavia got something for you. Now, what does he have for you? Well, Diego Pavia, to me, he's like, that cat. You ever seen that picture where it talks about courage and there's a little kitten staring into a mirror? And in the mirror, he sees a lion. You know what I'm saying? That's Diego Pavia. Pavia looks in the mirror, and when he looks into the mirror, he don't see Diego Pavia. You know who he sees? He sees Jalen Milroe. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a caveat to that. Jalen Milroe runs 4.4, 4.45. Pavia probably runs a 4.65, which ain't bad. But he runs like he's still as big as Miro. He will punish you at the end of the run. He ain't worried about your big hits. I would ask all quarterbacks to always protect your legs. Jump, dive, roll, whatever you got to do, slide, get out of that. But Pavia, he will hurt you with the run. They will hit you with what I call, like, you remember from the movie, Remember the Titans, it's like they ran a veer offense, and he says, just like Novocaine, it always works. Because eventually you're going to succumb to what they do. Well, when it comes to Vanderbilt, because they went out and hired Jerry Kill, former coach of New Mexico and New Mexico State, he came over. He brought a bunch of his players over, including Diego Pavia and several other players on the offensive line. They have a very experienced offensive line, right? That's why you've seen these games go the way they've gone. We saw Vanderbilt beat Virginia Tech, and we didn't expect to see that, but then you have to start paying attention. So Jerry Kill is over there. He was supposed to be a special consultant of the offense. Well, he's offensive coordinator now. And what he likes to do, snap the ball, and I love it, especially when you're undermanned. Why not have your guys fresh at the beginning of every offensive play? Focusing in, dialed in on exactly what they're going to do. So even when the defense is moving around, Womack's making adjustments, they're just sitting there waiting. They're waiting to the 9th second, to the 4th second. Somewhere between there, they're going to snap the ball. And when they snap the ball, he preaches execution. Do they have penalties? Yes, they're just as penalized as we are. Vanderbilt is they're tied for, I think they're 108th out of the 134 teams in the FCS for penalties at 7.7 a game. However, Alabama's ranked 122 out of 134. We come in with 8.5 penalties per game. So you wonder, like, how do we avoid an upset? These penalties. So Pavia, what they try to do, they try to get you into the last quarter and get you into a dogfight. Sound familiar? Go Dogs, roo, huh? Sound familiar? 4 quarter dogfight? I don't think we want none of those. This is a big emotional win we come off of. We got to be focused. On to the next one. We got to even look better. We have to look better in this game because the mantra this whole year for Coach DeBoer is to get better and better and better every game. They got to look better this week against VANDY than they did against Georgia. Is it impossible? No, but that means executing. You can't be out there with 8.5. You can't be 7-7, whatever it was, 5 from 5 from 4th down. With Vanderbilt, you'll be fighting them all day. While Pavia is very confident in his team's ability to compete, because he said only God knows who's going to win this game. When they asked the coach, what's his name, Clark Lee, about Jalen Milroe, he was just talking like, how do you stop Jalen Milroe? And Clark Lee made the following comments that left me looking like this. He said, let's see. He said he can expect explosive plays. Check. So you can't always spy Jalen Milroe because you just can't always spy him. You do it sometime, but don't do it all the time because they'll burn you. You got to minimize his long runs, and you can't let him invade the pass rush because once he breaks contain and he gone. And he just kept on like this for a few more seconds. And I know he didn't want to give up his game plan, but that's just about everything. Other than the fact that Jalen gonna throw the ball real deep to somebody who can't drink yet legally. Guess he ain't gonna hand the ball to a running back. I mean, that's the only thing he didn't say. But my keys for our defense this week is we must hit, wrap, and tackle. Roll Tide till you see Bama. We must hit, wrap, and tackle. And when we hit, my number 2, you better bring the wood. Because that's what Vandy's going to do. They're going to bring the wood. They bring the wood. That's what made Missouri almost give out. Missouri, a little soft. Jerry Kill's team, if you saw them play Auburn last year, he usually don't produce no, I ain't trying to be funny. I like him as a coach. He the kind of coach, you hear spot players all the time. Jerry Kill look like the kind of person. He look like the kind of person that I got everything going on from my phone now. Excuse me for the setup, folks. I don't have no Wi-Fi over here. Anyway, but he the kind of person that I ain't saying he don't bathe during football season, but for him to come in smelling like a cigar ashtray and nice little beverage, I wouldn't be surprised. He just eat, sleep, breathe football all day long. So as far as him finessing you, forget about it. Hit you in your mouth. And next, we got to control the QB runs. Control the QB runs and be very careful with the QB runs and don't let them lull you to sleep. Because what they do QB runs this way. They do the little speed options. They do some little trap plays up the middle. Everything they can do, they try to get away with. The next thing bam, they hit you across the top. Not always like a Hollywood and Jalen may do it, but they hit 30 yards and they keep trying to score. Every doggone week, they're always trying to score, 3 points, 7 points, but 3 points mainly just to stay in the game. Because remember, they're trying to get you over into the 4th quarter. And once they get you into the 4th quarter, watch out. Watch out. Anything can happen. And we're coming off for a huge win. There can't be no trap game, no Vandy trap. We need to go in there thinking like the USS Alabama of old, have our torpedoes ready to sink these cats. I'm talking about from play one. And on offense, we got to control the clock. Got to get better at controlling the clock. That's what they want to do. They want to control the clock. That's why they snap the ball with less than 10 seconds all the time. They don't wait till we up by 21. They don't wait until we're up by any. Oh, they don't wait. They don't wait until they're off. They don't wait till they're up by 10. They try 0-0. They want to control the clock. Not a bad idea. I know we can. They can't score explosively, although they may try to surprise us today. But why wait? Control the clock. If you know you can score, score. I'll take a 7-0 in about 4 plays. But after that, you know, give your defense some rest. Complementary football is what it's going to take today. Let's see. Where is it? Control the clock. Control the line. And a big part of controlling the line is not about just talent and skill and all that stuff and execution. It's about controlling the line so we don't have to worry about penalties. It's hard to see those guys play well and then give up 10 yards or 8.5 penalties. You know, it's like a penalty a drive for the offense for every quarter and just slow things down. That does burn clock. But we don't want to burn clock like that. And the next thing is you want to control your fatigue. So that's what I'm talking about, complementary football. The offense has to help the defense by controlling the clock, controlling the ball, and help to stave off fatigue. Because I'm still bewildered on the Georgia game. Like, is Georgia a great team Georgia used to be? Or does Georgia have so many injuries that they're not as deep as they were? But their depth is not explained by the fact that they came back later when depth should be being affected. Or did we give out of gas and let a great team back into it, or a good team? I don't know. I still think Georgia has some issues, but we'll be able to tell when Georgia goes out and plays. I got somebody just walking around my house. And the Zoom thing keeps going off. But we'll be able to tell a lot better once we get see Georgia play Texas, how good maybe that we may be, or how good Texas is. And we definitely, because we know, what are we building up for? We're building up for bigger games down the road. It ain't going to be a long way down the road, because after this week, I just think it's South Carolina. I can't say we're taking no break by playing South Carolina. We're going from South Carolina, from Vandy to South Carolina, and then by record, it really tightens up. So we have to show these improvements. And the boy talked about that in his press conference. He said if we had called a couple more plays a little differently in the third quarter of the Georgia game, he said we could have had just a whole different outlook of the second half. I'm like, well, as long as you see it, I know I saw it. I know everybody saw it, because we've been watching this for a while. Third quarters when Alabama used to just choke people out. And we did not choke them out. We competed well, but we did not choke out this team. Now, where am I? Let's see. So I think that covers me on what I wanted to say about a Vandy game, except for a score. I didn't even come up with a score. I think we are, let's see, Alabama is favored by 23 points. I don't think Alabama covers. Definitely wins, but I don't think Alabama covers today. Vandy just plays too slow. I mean, I don't even care about covering. I just really don't. But Vandy just plays so slow. They just eat the clock up. Because I admit, like, if you had to fight somebody who you just thought was just more dominant than you, one thing you can do is try not to die while you don't want to kill your hopes, dreams, and aspirations just from one game. But slowing that thing down is not. They do it for a whole bunch of great reasons. They know they're not as deep as everybody. Although, like I said, because of the transfer portal, they have brought in a lot of talent. They brought in a lot of experience. I mean, a lot. I don't know if anybody on that. There may be one person in the offensive line that's a junior, but I think most of them have already played 4 years of football. I think a lot of them in the master's program. And that's smart on their part. I commend those young men. Let me go get my graduate degree just in case this football thing is over. I'm going to get my graduate degree from a school that kind of puts me in front of everybody when it comes to get jobs. So I don't blame them. But I think there are about 3 guys on there that's already played 4 years, if not 4. And all of them not from New Mexico. They from all over the place. But there are a lot of players from Jerry Keel's old team in New Mexico or New Mexico State. I get confused because how often do we talk New Mexico football unless you're talking about baby brother down there on the plains? Anyway, moving on to this week's picks. Well, a question I did have. Do you guys know who's going to win the Big 12? I had UCF, but I don't know what Gus is doing. Can it be Coach Prime? He's in it, but BYU is undefeated. That's just something to keep an eye on. When it comes to the ACC, Miami's still suspect to me. Louisville's doing well. I just think Miami's suspect. They lost that game in my eyes to Virginia Tech. Great game. Two cousins. I don't know how first, second, or third, or 16 cousins playing quarterback for opposing teams, and I think Virginia Tech won that game. They came up with some mumbo jumbo after 8 minutes of review and awarded that game to Miami. But from me watching that game, their day is coming. I'm not saying they're going to make a huge slide, but you got to remember, they still got to play an ACC championship against somebody. And I don't know. I don't know who's going to win the ACC. This is what NIL is doing. This is making things crazy. Oh, yeah, Duke is still up there, too. Duke is 5-0. Can Duke win the ACC? And Miami's never won it. They really, anybody that gets them close to win the ACC is going to keep their job in Miami because they have never won it. Wow. It says all about you. Obviously, it's not all about. Man, did I pause? I'm not. When I go out to do these snoozes on these alarms, these motion alarms, I don't know if it's. I don't know. Am I going off and coming back? I know I'm still live, but I don't know how many days gonna be like this. Hopefully, not many. The guy's supposed to be coming today. I want to run down and ask my neighbor what the heck they was doing, but I think it was actually a AT&T that cut it off, according to the call before you dig people. I called in because I saw the truck. As soon as that truck packed up, my YouTube just started spinning. I was like, what's going on? Is it me? Called Spectrum, and it was like, they did some, dog. We be out there tomorrow, dog. I'm like, golly. I did want to talk about the top threats they have. Their biggest threat is Eli Stowers. They're Stowers. They're a top receiver. He's a tight end. I think he got like 270 yards on the season. You got to watch it because it's first down. All they trying to do is get as many first downs. If you mess around, let them score a touchdown, that's really a you problem. They'll take a 3, but if you give them a first down, they'll take enough first down to get to a touchdown. And they are really, I think they're kind of dangerous when it comes to like being in the red zone. You just can't let them down there because they're gonna nickel and dime you. They get down there, they're gonna definitely go into the point where they're going for it on fourth down, and we are horrible on fourth down. We are horrible on fourth down. We are horrible on fourth downs. I don't even know how to fix it. I don't care if it was Georgia. If Georgia can get, what was it? Coach said 7 on 7. I saw the record said 5 for 5, but I'm gonna go with the coach. If the coach, if Georgia's 7 for 7 on fourth downs, Vandy got to be thinking we can go 4 of 7 because they don't care. If they go 4 of 7 on fourth down at Vanderbilt on Alabama, that's the kind of thing get you into a fourth quarter scrap, have you going to overtime. We have to dominate early, blow them all up. But talking back about the conferences again, Big Ten is all over the place. They got 5 undefeated teams. I'm not sure what happened last night. I was not home. I think Oregon played somebody, so I'm thinking Oregon probably won that game. But Oregon already had a loss, I think. They got 5 undefeated teams and 5 one-loss teams before last night, including the defending national champion Michigan. I wonder if they're going to be making a repeat in the playoffs. Do they get like a bye just because they, defending champion? Is this kind of like, I don't know. I'm sure some sports gives you credit for last year. I didn't know they had 18 teams in their conference too. That is That's crazy. Somebody said it was going to be 4 conferences one day, but they had it geographically made sense. I mean, said Stanford went and played Rutgers as a conference game. I was like, man, golly. Oh, somebody like it was like all the way across the country. Or Penn State played Stanford. People always think in terms of football. Forget that. Think about the gymnasts. The gymnasts, they got to fly over, and the gym things last a couple of days or 2 days. Or the baseball team. Baseball team play like 27 road games. How do you, You got 27 games of baseball. 27 or is it 17? Somewhere, you got 20 games, you got to travel. All over the United States. And in baseball, gymnastics and tennis, and golf, you pretty much want to get that degree with a good GPA. Just make it make sense, man. I don't know. Anyway, some interesting games this week. Number 15, Clemson is taking on FSU. FSU is a 14.5-point underdog. I had put a question out there if you want to answer it. If Norvell loses by what number, he gets fired after this game. If Clemson beats FSU, and I do think Clemson will win this game, I do think Clemson will cover the 14.5. But if they lose this game by double 32 points. If they lose this, I think Auburn Addicts buddy said he said 100. I think I said 42, but I'm a little, I say 42. I'm sticking with that 42. I say 42 points. I think they may fire that dude. Because that's going to be like the height of embarrassment. I mean, you're right back at the bottom of the ACC. I think that's what that would say. If they go in there, they're going to lose this game, I think. But if they lose that game by, 42 points, meaning, 56-10. I mean, because here's what happened, I think. This is why I bring this up. The reason they're losing is not because they don't have players. They went out about players like everybody, compensated players. Pay for play, NIL on this side, coaches, athletic department on that side. They did like everybody else did. But it's something that's been haunting me with a lot of comments I hear from people. They ask the GOAT. They were making comments about, they have $20 million, maybe do a salary cap. And he simply said, hey, if you take the $20 million take that $20 million salary cap and you pay the wrong people, then you're going to be SOL. And he said the whole statement there on ESPN. But he's right. You have to know talent. Hearing great stories about how good he was at that. One guy at LSU said he was a quarterback his whole life, but Saban came to see him practice basketball and told him, I'm going to make you a great, you got if you're willing to work hard, you could be a great cornerback. And it was really difficult because he was from the area and they just hadn't had good success taking people to LSU. And he was able to convince this guy's dad to give them a chance. And he built a pipeline out of this neighborhood which did not trust LSU. There was a whole racial thing to come over there. And I think that guy went to the pros and definitely won a national championship as a cornerback. And he had never in his life, he'd been playing football his whole existence, like 6-7 years old, never played cornerback. And the final thing that guy said, everybody wondered, how did Saban get all these 6'4" and 6'5" linebackers on the basketball court? And that's one to grow on. So Mike Norvell, and what I'm thinking is, he goes with he looks at the price tag, he looks at the description, but I don't think he has a plan. His plan don't match the players. You know what I'm saying? He has a plan, but he don't have the players to match. So are you going to let him have spent all this money or dedicated all this money to these players just to see them lose by 42 points to, I don't know, one of the best teams in the conference, the predominant favorite to win the doggone whole ACC, or is it the AAC? It's they like the same. You know, ACC, AAC. You know, Clemson could win the whole thing. You're gonna take a beat down at home by more than 42 points. I think they got to get him out of there because he don't understand what he's doing. You know, for the program, he has to be able to have a plan and find the players to make the plan work. And I think that's easier at the bigger schools. It should be real easy at FSU. Like, I need a quarterback like Travis. What was his name? Travis, the other quarterback that got hurt for the national championship or the playoffs. Why would you go get DJ? They saying DJ is one of the largest quarterbacks of the 134 quarterbacks that's out there right now. It's him and KJ Jefferson. I call KJ, what I call him? I call him KB's Marquis. That's what I call him. KJ Jefferson is huge for a quarterback. He's like the second biggest. He ain't slow. He just ain't like Travis Jordan or whatever that boy name was. That dude had that. You gotta have some of that when you're playing at Florida State. I don't know how he missed that. And the line, and so now you just got a bunch of people that's getting paid, and they figure, well, I can jump back into the portal. And as Coach Prime say, the portal is where football careers go to die. 40% of the people go in the portal and you'll never hear from them again. And some people could be out there plotting. I'm gonna try to stick it out here. Even if they cut my money, I'm gonna get this money because I'm gonna open me a McDowell's when I leave FSU. I'm gonna get me this business operations degree. I'm gonna take this. I still should have $300,000 of the $900,000 they paid me. I'm gonna try to get me some more money so I can get another $100,000 on the side. Make some investments, and when I turn 23, I'm gonna open me a McDowell's. You know what I'm saying? You know, McDowell's. Like, not like McDonald's. McDonald's got the golden arches. McDowell's at the golden arcs. Anyway, so the next game I got is number 8 Miami versus California. California's favored by they're underdog 10.5. And I was thinking to myself, like, California, they're playing in California. It's Miami. Miami's supposed to be so dominant. Why are they up 10-point underdog and not a 20-point underdog? Is someone saying that with a couple of missteps, Miami could lose this game? And with that, I'm taking the points in California. I think Miami should win. It's California, but why 10 points? California has done nothing to make me think that they're a threat. But maybe somebody's seen something in that Virginia Tech game. Maybe they know that California is going to implement the same thing, or they got the same. I don't know. I'm just taking California and the points for entertainment purposes only. Just having fun here, folks. Another game outside of the conference: Texas Tech versus Arizona. Arizona seems to be having a resurgence, maybe a bounce back for Fafita, or he's having a bounce back for himself so he can save his career and get up out of there at the end of the year. But I'm thinking that if Fafita can do his thing, they definitely should win this game. They're favored by 6 against Texas Tech, so I'm taking that. But I'm going to be watching that because I want to see if Fafita's bounce back, because I got a lot of friends, close friends, that really need this quarterback. The guy over there at James Madison, I'm gonna just help out the Auburn folks, man. I think his name is Alonzo, man. Y'all need to get that man on the phone, cuz. I know you got the big signing, but I don't know. I know they had the big sign this week. Deuce Knight done flipped from paper to plastic. I don't know. Deuce Knight has flipped. He's flipped from paper to plastic, plastic to paper, and he talking about he taking everybody with him. But let me tell you something, Mr. Knight. You keep talking to Caleb Cunningham, huh? Because I'm hoping to goodness that Caleb Cunningham, your buddy from Mississippi, I hope he plays Uno. So you keep talking to him, try to get him to come from the capstone and down to the plains. And he's going to hit you with that reverse flip. So keep the phone lines open. Y'all stay tuned. So anyway, I'm telling the people down the plains, you better be watching Fafita. You better be watching my boy up here at James Madison. You better keep your eye on my boy. I was going to call him El Hawk Malik Shabazz so bad. That is actually Malcolm X's converted Muslim name, but his name is Hajj Malik, I think. The UNLV quarterback who took over for the guy who said that, all eyes on me. And they was like, get thee away from me. Sluka. He out there looking for, in the portal. He fading too. He fading like he's saying, Scotty, beat me to a better school. And he's faded away. Will he reappear? You got to believe there's a lot of dirtbags that's going to sign that guy to a contract. I don't know if they lied to him or not. I don't know why they just didn't lie to everybody that came over there. But obviously they lied to him because when he came out of Holy Cross, everybody wanted him. Raise your hand. First of all, quick question. Have you ever watched the Holy Cross football game? Did you know Holy Cross play football? Lastly, raise your hand if you watch more women's sports at Holy Cross than men's. I'm just Sluka. Hey, stand on yours, dog. In the SEC, big game of the day. Don't know. I didn't write the times down. Number 9, Mizzou is taking on Tammy. Tammy is favored at home by -2. I'm taking Missouri. I'm taking the 2 points, and I'm thinking Missouri's really just going to win this game. And next up, we got Tennessee. Tennessee, number 4 Tennessee is taking on Arkansas. Definitely messing with Tennessee on that one. Oh, my bad. Did I do that out loud? I'm taking Tennessee on that one. You just kind of spit that out your mouth. Who else we got here? Ole Miss is different because we don't know who the quarterback's going to be for South Carolina. It's like if Robbie Ashford plays, that changes things. But Carolina is an underdog at 9.5. His train fell off the track last week. He got derailed by Kentucky, and South Carolina beat Kentucky. So it's like, do you use that transitive principle of mathematics? Remember, it's of mathematics, it's not of football, but golly, there's still a transitive property of life. I just don't think, I don't know, man. I don't think Ole Miss is going to be able to go into Cock-a-doodle-dooville and take down South Carolina by more than 9 points, more than 9.5 points, 10 points. So I'm taking South Carolina in that one. Boy, I got so many prompts on my phone. It is ridiculous. Who's next? UCF takes on Florida in the swamp. It's not really swampy now. It's more like, it's kind of like a puddle, it rained last night and get up and you go out there, you hit that little pothole. Do that pothole, not that pothole to make you do that. The pothole to make you go. That's kind of what Ben Hill Griffin Stadium is now. It's like a little puddle with some dirty water in it. It's not really a swamp. There ain't no gators in there, but they're 2.5 point underdogs to UCF. If they don't bow their back and win this game decisively, then they really got problems. They already got problems. They really got problems. So I am going to take Florida and the 2.5 points. Auburn versus, what did Georgia end up ranked? Number 4? After their misfortune last week. Auburn versus number whatever Georgia. Georgia is favored at home by 24 points. I mean, it's their homecoming. So they selected, I don't know which came first. Did they have homecoming set and they went out and got an opponent? Or did they have an opponent and then say, this is when homecoming's going to be? Either way, it's pretty disrespectful for their biggest rival. I mean, longest rival. It's kind of like that Florida, Georgia thing is real, just like our Tennessee, Alabama thing is real. But that Iron Bowl is something else. This game is something else. I think it's the longest rivalry in the South in college football. Auburn versus Georgia. And they said that's going to be homecoming. God, disrespectful. Disrespectful. I wish I had my sounders. I mean, somebody is being disrespectful. And for that reason, and many other, and one more thing, when they announced this game, Georgia Athletics put out a tweet and said on this date today, and it was like 2 months ago, they said Auburn will be playing Auburn. And that's like one of those things, like that's really true. Because if Auburn goes in there and they have no turnovers, I don't think they bad on penalties. They ain't bad as we are. They ain't 122 out of 134. If Auburn go in there and has no turnovers because they bow their back and show that they got a little pride or a lot of pride, could be an interesting day. With that, and the fact that they got a lot of injuries at Georgia, and I don't know how good or bad or deep they are. I don't know how good anybody is in the SEC. I'm just going to be honest with you. The scores are starting to get all over the place, and I expect a lot more of that. I don't think they're beating Auburn by 24 points. Do I think Georgia should win? Yeah, they should. Maybe by 7 or 10. But will they? I know Auburn people are talking about, man, we're going to turnovers. We're going to have 3 turnovers. What if they don't? Because what I've seen an Auburn team play, make huge mistakes that kind of let the other team, allows the other team to win. So when I go back to that guy saying, they're releasing that tweet that says Auburn is playing Auburn on October the 5th. Hey, PhD, how you doing? This hat, I got it in Mexico. Didn't import it. I went to Mexico and I bought this hat. So that's why it says, was it Cancun, Mexico? Yeah. Don't tell nobody. It's a trademark thing in the back. I took it off because it was scratching me. It's trademark. Anyway, and lastly, we've already talked about it. Alabama, number 1 Alabama, will beat the Vanderbilt Commodores. But if I had to make a play, if I had one of the sheets, circle in and all that stuff, and check off whatever and submit, currency with it, and I don't do that because I'm doing this for entertainment purposes only. I would not take Alabama to cover this 23 points. I would take Vanderbilt. But thank y'all for being patient with me. I don't know how long. There's no. See, folks with PhDs, this is what they do. What I do, we'll write down to the place where Cancun is. I don't know how they spell it down there. I did not create the hat. I just purchased the hat as a tourist and some other things as a tourist to, make the trip to have a memento. It sounds like you're jealous. You want my hat? You want my hat? You need my hat? You go down there and get you one. It said, what is it? Where is it? Is it Cozumel? Not Cancun. Cozumel. I can't read. I'm reading it backwards. Plus, I cannot. Oh, it's time to go to the eye doctor. What that lady say? I need another. And I need. Oh, it was my cousin Vinny. The lady said, I guess I need to go get me some more thickness. Anyway, I got to get out of here. This is ridiculous. I'm sitting against my bedroom wall because I can't use a background with my people. Cozumel. Yeah. So, PhD, you need to work on your reading skills a little bit because I know you should be able to read this unless you need another level of thickness. Anyway, this was funner than I thought. It's kind of reminded me when I first started. I couldn't find nothing. I couldn't find light, the space, the place. I was going to do it in my car, and I said, I can't do this in the car. It's so much stuff going on, but we made it through it. Hopefully everything will be fixed by the night. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, first of all, share it with your friends. And remember, around the herd, one way or the other, I may have to drop a video, but one way or the other, there will be a show 6:30 on Monday. I may have to just drop a show down there. I don't know. Whether it's live or not is to be determined. Or maybe I just jump on like this and run my mouth. But it's gonna be something else trying to do gather information for the show. I have to do it on my phone and oh my God. Oh, I can go to the library. I can get over that. Also, I thought about doing live from the library, but tonight, during the Vanderbilt game, or today, I don't even know what time the game start. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go live. Just keep your eye open for me. If I do it, I may have to do it for just a little bit. I don't know if I can go. If I can go down to the sports bar and I can look through the window while I'm on my phone, I may look a little weird, but I may try to do that. Figure something out. This is crazy. It's just a crazy predicament because I don't know how much my hotspot is going to allow me to do because I can't watch the game and go live on the same device. Although I may try at least for a half. I may try that. And remember, Iron Bowl debate drops on Wednesdays, and we may be doing one or two of those drops a week. But Wednesday at 6 o'clock, Iron Bowl debates drops, and where I try to convince the Auburn addict DC that he has a problem, and we need to deal with it. You have a problem. You're gushing over the wrong team, man. I don't get it. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Thank you guys for joining me, and always remember, roll, tide, rope. Let me out of here.